Okay, the last presentation is another Canons presentation, and it's about Comenius. One colleague from another school's already mentioned the project. So we've got Katie Magee and Gareth Jones from Canons.
All right, hi everyone. I'm Katie and this is my colleague Gareth, and we're here to talk to you today about the Comenius project, which has been taking place at Canons over the last 2 years. I don't know how many of you are involved in Comenius at your school already. I know I've just spoken to Riddy, who is involved at Bentley Wood. Anyone else? Over there. Okay, so some of you know some stuff about it already. If you don't know anything about it, it's a great opportunity for your students to actually be able to travel abroad and to collaborate with people from schools in other countries. It's got two main aims: to develop knowledge and understanding amongst young people and education staff about the diversity of European cultures and languages and the value of this diversity.
Which can cause quite a lot of problems when the person who's line managing you is dyslexic and only speaks one language, and there's over 8 countries that are involved. The kids actually do a lot better than you do.
That's definitely true. The second main aim of Comenius is to help young people to acquire basic life skills that can be transferred to different situations throughout their sort of educational careers and working careers as well. Develop competencies for this personal development, for future employment, and obviously for active European citizenship. Okay, it's also funded by the British Council, which is a non-departmental public body and charity. I'm sure lots of you know about the British Council work already. And the great thing about this meant that our students did not have to pay to take part in any of the trips that they went on. So we've got a map of Europe up there with a few pins stuck in it. We worked with partner schools in all these different countries. And over the last 5 years, we've actually taken part in 5 international visits.
The important part there is that it isn't the same students that manage to go on the trips to all the different places. We were able to open it out to all students from different backgrounds, and for some of the students it may be the only chance they get to go abroad. We also linked it in with having teachers, not just from the languages department, but from different departments around the school, so that they could gain an experience as well. So it heightened it across the school for everybody.
Thank you. So our mobilities, as they call them in Comenius speak, took place as follows. Obviously, the main one of this for us was that we hosted 39 students from all the different countries around Europe and their teachers here in March of this year. And we were also able to take 30 students abroad ourselves in total. So they all work with teachers and students from countries across Europe on collaborative projects, and best of all, as I've mentioned already, the British Council funding meant that we didn't have to pay for our students to travel abroad, and neither did they have to pay to do so. So that was a really great opportunity. The title of our project was A Dream School for Europe, and we were basically trying to establish what made a dream school, what students believed the qualities of a dream school to be. So at the various meetings, they looked at the various issues that you can see there.
Which turned out to be quite interesting because in one language, when you say you want to be somewhere at 6 for dinner, it means one thing. And for another country, it means, yeah, we'll be there, yeah, 6:30. And for some countries, it actually meant we'll phone you 2 hours later to tell you we're not coming. So to actually sit down and start discussing some of these proposals, we had no idea how the European community actually works as a council working together. It was just, whoa. But those cultural experiences of the relaxed way they dealt with things and some formal structures they had was also interesting for not only the students, but for the staff to understand.
Yeah, definitely. So they were able to work, the students, with students from different nationalities, sharing their experiences with regards to those issues, and then discussing and negotiating with their counterparts about what their dream school would actually look like. And this is obviously the interesting bit. Okay, so just to prepare them for the visits, we got the students who were travelling abroad together beforehand to get them to discuss how they would represent the particular issue that they were going to be talking about at that meeting. They then spent some time over there working in mixed nationality workshop groups. And then, depending on the level of technology available in the school, they presented their discussions through various media. And I think this is a really eye-opening thing for us as staff and also for our students, is just kind of how much technology we have available in our classrooms and how much we rely on it. And the fact that that really doesn't exist in some schools, particularly in Eastern Europe. It was eye-opening for our students to see that. We were quite lucky because the language of communication was usually English, so that was a benefit. And importantly, the visits also incorporated a cultural element. The students actually stayed in host families. They weren't just off in a hotel socialising with the people from their own country in the evenings. They were staying, experiencing what life in that country was really like for them. Okay, it's just to give you a taste of some of the things that happened. This is some of our students in Istanbul here preparing a presentation about, I think it was discrimination, the theme in Istanbul. Is one of our year 10 students now. She was year 8 at the time presenting, year 9 at the time. Workshops in Hungary. Some of our students together with students from all the other countries at the final project meeting in Prague. This is some of the photos from our visit here, which actually had a music focus. So we had some planning for a song that was going to be composed about the Dream School of Europe. There was teachers from Spain and Belgium up there. This is Mr. Fox, who's one of our ex-music teachers, taking a group of guitarists in a guitar lesson while they were over here. Students from Hungary and all over the different countries actually performing in a final concert. And this is, Ian, who's our wonderful director of music down here, leading a choir in preparation for their song. Now, what was really interesting for us was that actually the students from different countries didn't necessarily even study music at school. Many of them came from schools where creative subjects just weren't on the curriculum. So they really appreciated the opportunity to come over here and stay in the music department for 4 days. I think, in fact, one day we were going off to the London Eye, and Gareth had to go chasing down to the music department to drag some of the Greek students away because they just wanted to stay and play the guitars, do some jamming, as they said, rather than come and visit the London Eye. So that just gives you an idea of the level of enthusiasm amongst the students. This is some of them from all the different countries on their last day with us at Canons. There we are. Okay, so outcomes for our students were as follows. This is just, I won't go through them because you can all read them, but some of the comments that they made. Yeah.
And afterwards, one of the best things that we've found that's come out of this is the fact that our students have actually remained in contact with some of the host parents and the families. And due to their own decisions, they've actually managed to fund themselves to do another exchange program with those students themselves. Over the summer holiday, we had a student who went out and had their host family come back to them, and it's something that we didn't have to organise. And if that's not the outcome that an international school is supposed to sort of bring together, then I think we did very well with that one.
Yeah, definitely. And further to that, we've kind of maintain strong links, especially with the Belgian school and the Spanish school, because we teach French and Spanish here at Canons, so we want to be able to run our own exchanges over to those countries, hopefully on a smaller budget than running a normal school trip abroad would be. We probably don't have time for questions right now because we need to move on to the next pitch, but you can find out more on this website, which Gareth has in the very old-fashioned style strung up over here for you. And it will also be added to whatever Kev's going to do with the more modern technology. Okay, thank you.